Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for our e-Gurukula sessions, and today is Wednesday. We have a Krishna Lila discussion. So yesterday all of you got the nice darshan of Ma from here, Govardhan yesterday, right? She came and she wanted to see all the students and children. So every day she also, after evening aarti here, evening aarti we have from 7 to 7:30 as we have in the temple also. So every day she will read a book from Krishna book. She will hear. Now she cannot read herself, but she hears. Others, our devotees, they read for her. So every day, although they are Dhamvasis, they stay in Vrindavan. They know everything in and out about Lord Krishna. But their eagerness to hear about Krishna is so much. Right? They never feel that I know about Krishna. So every day she will hear from Krishna book. Now also that here class is going on for devotees are reading from the book Krishna. So that's why it's very much important to understand this importance. And that's why Srila Prabhupada has given all of us this great work, the book Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that we can really become Krishna conscious very nicely, very easily. So let us begin our today's discussion. Om Adnyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Dhanita Shri Vishakanitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So anyone remember which chapter we're reading? Which episode is going on?
Krishna Lila part 1.
Yeah. Yes. Which episode of Krishna Lila is going on?
Prabhuji, chapter number 45, Krishna recovers sons of his teacher.
Yes, correct. Yeah, thank you. So that chapter almost half we completed, right? Now Krishna Lord Vasudev planned for Krishna's ceremony of education, and that's what we spoke about samskaras last week, right? Yeah, sacred thread ceremony, Vasudev called family priest and all. That's this topic last time we read. Gayatri mantra. Yes. Yeah. Now here we'll begin with, okay. I think, yeah. Here Sandipani Munish, yeah. I think here it begins. Yeah. It is customary. Yeah, you all are able to see. The book is visible. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Are you all able to see on the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It is customary after being initiated in the Gayatri Mantra for one to live away from home for some time under the care of the Acharya to be trained in spiritual life. During this period, one has to work under the spiritual master as an ordinary menial servant. Right? So nowadays, you ask, what do you want to become? People say, I want to become a CEO. I want to become a boss of a company. But here, what is said, we have to become the servant of the spiritual master. So why servant? Can somebody say? Why servant here? It is being said one should. Okay, fine, you go and learn. In a school, we don't become servant of the teacher, right? We learn from the teacher as a respect, but we don't become servant of a teacher or something, right? Do you have ever experienced that, becoming a servant of a teacher or somebody? Why here it is said, the who understands the point here? One has to work under the spiritual master as an ordinary menial servant.
Prabhuji, because the Supreme Lord.
No, this is for everyone, not only for the Supreme Lord. Your voice stopped after the Supreme Lord. You want to say something, Maria? For humility, okay, Diveshwar is writing for the sake of humility, one should be. Spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. Yeah, good. Anything more? Yeah. What happened when we have this? There is a nice story. I'll try to recollect the details. Anyway, I'll just miss out some words. Maybe tomorrow I'll speak. I'll just get the exact details of that episode. So if we have a spirit of I know, then we'll not learn from the Guru in a proper as a ideal student. If you think that, oh, I know, I belong to the good class, and this Guru is not so good or some things, we try to compare, we try to judge. So that's why a very famous verse, even Lord Krishna also speaks in Bhagavad Gita. That's 4.34. Who knows? Very famous verse about the relationship of a disciple with the spiritual master, of a student with his teacher, how one should have the relationship. 4.34. Who knows? You're searching in Google? No? Yeah. Very famous words. Nobody knows how the disciple should approach the teacher, the spiritual master. Then only the knowledge will come.
Yeah, Prabhu, can I speak?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Prabhu, Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya.
Upadekshanti te jnanam.
Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana.
Yeah, good. You remembered, or you are
Remember.
Very nice, very good. Yeah, so yeah, good. So tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That sevaya means not a sevaya sweet. Sevaya means the service. One should render service to the teacher, spiritual master. So then when we are in a servant mode, then the knowledge will flow from top to down. But if we think ourselves better than the teacher, or nowadays how the culture is, right? Hardly students have proper respect for the teachers, and teachers are also not in a. But anyway, that they're teaching us, so we should have a due respect. But then that respect is not there. Only information will get, but transformation will not happen. So we are learning in the school only information, but in Krishna consciousness, when we proper spirit we learn, then the transformation of heart also will take place. So that servantship is very much important. Even we find the famous episode. Now here we are reading about Lord Krishna going to Sandipani Muni. Lord Ram also goes to Vishwamitra Muni and renders service of protecting him, massaging his feet, giving him a service. So that's what service is very much important. Many episodes and examples are there. Tomorrow's session again we'll read about this. There are many rules and regulations for a brahmachari living under the care of an acharya. So brahmachari means the life before marriage, or a student continued as without marriage. So he stays with the guru only. Okay. And Krishna and Balram strictly followed. Krishna and Balram strictly followed those regulative principles while living under the instruction of their spiritual master. So Krishna and Balram are the Supreme Lord, but still they're setting up a very good example for all of us, how one should approach the teachers. Yeah. Strictly followed those regulative principles while living under the instruction of their spiritual master, Sandipani Muni. Okay, so Sandipani Muni is the teacher for Krishna. Now Krishna and Balaram are the Supreme Lord. They don't need any teacher, right? They know everything, right? They know all the information and everything, but still they're going and being a student, they're serving, rendering service to Sandipani Muni. So that's a great example. So Sandipani Muni, where he was located, who was a resident of Avantipur in the northern Indian districts of Ujjain. So today also that place is there of Sandipani Muni's ashram in Ujjain. Ujjain, which state Ujjain comes? Anyone knows? Which state? The Ujjain is under which state?
Yeah, Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, we visit Uttar Pradesh.
No, not Uttar Pradesh. Not Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, it's Madhya Pradesh. Okay, below Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, Madhya Pradesh, which is above Maharashtra. From Nagpur, you go up from Hyderabad, Nagpur, and then up. So there, the Madhya Pradesh comes. It's the center of India. So Lord Krishna. Now this scene is happening in Mathura. That comes in the near Delhi. Okay, Mathura. Today also that Mathura is there. So from Mathura, Lord Krishna came down to Ujjain. According to scriptural injunction, a spiritual master should be respected and regarded on an equal level with the Supreme Personality of God. So, Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra. We sing those prayers, Guru Ashtakam. So there also it comes. Krishna and Balaram exactly followed those principles. Acharya Devo Bhava. Yesterday we read Atiti Devo Bhava. So Acharya Devo Bhava. That doesn't mean that the Guru becomes God, but one should treat Guru as much as one treats the God, or even more than that also, because the Guru is the one who connects us to the God, connects us to Krishna. So that's what one should render such treatment to the spiritual master. Krishna and Balaram exactly followed those principles with great devotion and underwent the regulations of Brahmacharya. Thus, they satisfied their spiritual master, who instructed them in the Vedic knowledge. Being very satisfied, Sandipani Muni instructed them in all the intricacies of Vedic wisdom and in supplementary literatures such as the Upanishads. Because Krishna and Balaram happened to be the Kshatriyas, they were specifically trained in military science, politics, and ethics. Okay. So as a Kshatriya duty, how one should lead. So Vedic knowledge is also given, but then in specific, because they're like a Kshatriya, so for them, the detailed training was given for the learning the military arts. So Vedic knowledge is very important. That's a foundation. Even everyone learns about Supreme Lord and then the proper details of those. Politics includes such departments of knowledge as how to make peace, how to fight, how to pacify, how to divide and rule, and how to give shelter. All these items were fully explained and instructed to Krishna and Balaram. So you are able to observe one thing, right? All the kings, they were guided by the saintly peoples. So Kshatriyas are not the top of the society. Who are the top of the society? Who are the top of the society?
Brahmanas.
Prabhuji, Brahmana.
Yeah, the Brahmanas. So Brahmanas gives the guidance to the Kshatriyas how to rule. Like the famous example of King Chandragupta Maurya. Who guided him? You heard in the history, your history book you read. Chandragupta. Chanakya. Yeah, Chanakya, correct. So Chanakya guided Chandragupta Maurya, and that's what Chandragupta Maurya conquered the most part of the world and made it very, very proper. So if Brahmanas, that's why considered as the head of the society. And Kshatriyas are the arms of the society. Arms need a protection, right? Arms gives the protection, strength. But head is important. See, that's what Prabhupada says. Have you seen anybody living without head? You can see somebody living without arm. There are some people who doesn't have hand. But have you seen anybody who doesn't have head only and he's living? Yes, anyone have seen? Maybe in the serial they show as a ghost or some kind of a thing, which is imaginary, which never exists. So that means Brahmanas are very much important. And Kshatriyas, the rulers, they should go to Brahmanas, right? And that's why we see Lord Krishna and Balaram were sent to Sandipani Muni's ashram to learn all these military details, how to rule, how to fight, and how to. So that knowledge is coming, then proper ruling will happen. But nowadays, especially if the leaders in the politics, if they're not properly trained, then that's what they don't make a proper decisions. And that's what the whole society becomes chaos. Then we find so many liquor shops are happening, the meat shops, and so many other things are going on. And there is not much plan about propagating Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada used to always speak a lot about this, how the leader should rule the society. People want Rama Rajya, but they don't want to follow Ram. They want Rama Rajya without Ram. How it is possible? Not possible. So that's why when they follow Lord Ram, sorry. Yeah. So
that is impossible.
Yeah, that's
impossible.
Yeah. That's impossible. So if you follow the examples of Lord Ram, how Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, here we see how they properly learn from the spiritual teachers, then they can rule very, very properly. That's why in our life also, we're also ruling our life in one sense, right? We have our family, we have our home, we have our own life. So we also don't learn to take guidance and instructions from the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. Then naturally, we'll also land up in a different way. Right? So that's why it's always important. Consult. Always is very much important to take a guidance and properly lead our life in a very responsible way. And that's why regularly reading Srila Prabhupada's books, hearing the lectures, coming in association of devotees is very much important. That knowledge will come here. Then we'll be able to take a proper words, proper actions, and lead our life in a proper way. So that's what Lord Krishna is setting here, nice example. The ocean is the source of water in a river. The cloud is created by the evaporation of ocean water. All of you know this process. What is called that? And the same water is distributed as rain all over the surface of the earth. And then
Condensation.
Yeah.
Condensation.
Yeah, condensation. Yeah. So why Prabhupada is writing here now? Very brilliant. Okay, you can see a water cycle. Yeah. So a surface then return to the ocean in the rivers. So Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are the source of all knowledge. What is that verse in Bhagavad Gita for this? Krishna and Balaram are the source of all knowledge. Yeah, quickly, famous verse, 15.15, who knows? Lord is the source of all knowledge. From him comes the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. But really, nobody knows? 15.15 verse? Sorry, verse.
Yeah, Prabhu, can I tell?
Yes. Who knows? Please tell.
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirjnanamohanam cha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krid veda videva chaham.
Thank you. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirjnanam. Jnana means the knowledge. So Lord Krishna and Balaram are the source of all knowledge. Now you see what Prabhupada is writing. But because they were playing like ordinary human boys, they set the example so that everyone would receive knowledge from the right source. Thus, they agreed to take knowledge from a spiritual master. So, who is the ocean compared here? What is that river? What is that water? Quickly, who understood that point? We read right in the beginning. The ocean is the source of water in a river. And then all the water comes in the rivers that flows back to the ocean. Sorry? Yeah, what Jashipra?
Krishna.
Who is a Krishna?
Krishna?
Yeah, who is a Krishna? With what it is compared? Yeah, who is
The ocean.
Krishna, Lord Krishna and Balaram, they're like an ocean, right? And what is that water? What is that water and what is that river? Right? Ocean is made up of, ocean is a source of water. So Lord Krishna and Balaram are source of all knowledge. So that water is like a knowledge, which goes to the many, many rivers. Through the condenses comes back. And again, it comes back to the ocean only. So Lord is a source of all knowledge. And then he is receiving knowledge through his teacher here, Sandipani Muni. So that's what it's very much important to understand, having a spiritual master in our life. So this is the point. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who is our founder Acharya. And then we have his disciples who are carrying out the parampara and who are acting as spiritual masters for all of us. So we should take this great advantage. We need not to go out and search now. Prabhupada is coming right door to door and giving us this amazing knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So we can take this nice. People want to follow Krishna dancing with the gopis or Krishna stealing the butters and so many other things and all. But they don't see these things. So what to follow of the Lord and what not to imitate, that's very much important to understand. And that's why we need a proper association. So people, they break the pot on that Janmashtami night or so. They do so much kasrat of making a dahi handis and then the breaking. That's never ever mentioned. Lord Krishna used to do that, and that is loved by everyone. That's why they used to make butter for Lord Krishna to come and steal. They wanted to have that offering for Krishna. But people don't follow this point. Krishna and Balaram, they're learning from the teacher, although they know everything and all. So one should take a proper footsteps in following the Lord. In which direction, that's important. After hearing only once from their teacher, Krishna and Balaram learned all the arts and sciences. How many of you have this ability? Just once you learn from your teacher and you are set through. Right? After repeatedly hearing also we forget. We want to write down the notes, then we want to revise. Still we forget for the exams. But you see Krishna and Balaram, they were so sharp in their learnings. Just after hearing only once from their teacher, finished. They learned art and sciences. In 64 days and 64 nights, they learned all the necessary arts and sciences required in human society. During the daytime, they took lessons on a subject from the teacher, and by nightfall, they were expert in that department of knowledge. Right? So you see how so expert learning. Daytime they learned from their teacher, and by the time of the night they practiced and they perfected that art. Like let's say we start the mathematics. We start learning morning mathematics, and by evening we practice and mastered whole mathematics. Then one day only one subject, 5 days, whole year, 6th standard, 5th standard, whichever standard you are complete over. How many of us can do that? Right? So that's why Lord Krishna is so. Sorry?
Yeah, bro, we'll take at least 1 year to mathematics. Master that complete mathematics of one class only.
Yeah, and that too, after going ahead in the another years, we forget also. Oh, what I studied last time. Oh, okay, fine. But Lord Krishna and Balaram, they learned They practiced, they perfected, and they never forgot also. Whose example comes similar in mind, who also learned in a similar fashion. That's why he also became a great expert.
Prabhuji Ram.
Lord Ram also, yeah, correct. Any
Prabhupada.
other? Prabhupada, of course, yeah. But especially learning the art and skills in a day and perfecting by night.
Arjuna.
Very nice. Arjun. That's why in Bhagavad Gita there is one word for Arjun, who conquered the sleep. Anyone knows? He used to learn in the daytime from the teacher, and nighttime he used to practice. Finish. The next day again another lesson. Nighttime he used to practice. So he conquered the sleep also. He did not had a problem of not getting sleep. Very nice. Or Jasit Pro, Divesh Pro, they're writing. He's called as a Gudakesh, one who has conquered the sleep also. So you can see how brilliant examples, how so. So if there is a really a great love and attention, then naturally subject matter goes very, very fast. Like, just to give a simple example, how many of you observed when the people, they go for a movie, they watch movie for 2.5 hours to 3 hours almost. But after coming out of the movie, you ask them how was the movie and all, everything they will tell right from the beginning till end. They will tell how it began, then what happened, then who did what, then who got killed, then who was born, how they fought, then how there was a different scenes and things, and then finally movie ends. You observe just by watching once, or TV serial, or maybe some movie or some things, or some cartoon we watch, children watch cartoons. Everything gets remembered here. Why? Because we are given so much attention. We put ourselves into those characters. Okay, fine. How he's fighting, what is he doing and all. Full attention is gone there. So attention brings out that absorption. But if you're inattentive, then no matter how much ever we try, physically present, but mentally absent. So body is present in the class, but the mind is wandering so many other places. And nowadays online classes, physically we might be sitting in front of a screen, but mind might be looking onto so many other screens on the computer. Right? So it's very much important to be in the present. And that's why chanting helps a lot. When we sit for a chanting, one should learn to focus on our pronunciation and hearing the words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Each word we pronounce, you should try to hear and focus very, very attentive. Then that attention will make it very quickly to absorb the lessons and the points also. So there are many examples we can really take how with a great interest we have to learn. If the interest is not there, forcefully it is sent, okay, fine, I have to sit down now, okay, fine. Then the knowledge will not go. So what happened? Through years it might be going, but heart is closed because we don't have interest. Then what happened? Knowledge will come and then it will reflect back. It will not come inside the heart. Then it will not come inside in the action also. But if interest is there, means heart is fully open. And we are taking, okay, yes, very nice. Yes, I am ready. And then naturally, what is a sign of interest? Then we learned, then we'll question also. Okay, how can I do this? How can I do? And then the next question will come, how can I serve you? How can I assist you? And that's why doubts, yeah. That's why we see from the life of Srila Prabhupada, how attentively he heard from his spiritual master. Although he was not understanding what Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was speaking, his English was very, very high. But Prabhupada said, just let me sit and hear. Right? That itself will make my heart pure. And that's what he asked, how can I serve you? We see Prabhupada putting a letter to his guru, right? How can I serve you? And all the time he got the answer, preach in English language and print the books. Right? And that's what we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, how he made it. So attention needs to bring out that for our good absorption. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So affection, then attention, then absorption. Affection means we should have an interest for it. We should have a liking. Oh, I like to read about Krishna. I like to chant. That affection. Then naturally attention will become very easy. Then attachment. Then one will develop attachment for that to do again and again. And then absorption. Affection, attention, attachment, and absorption. So one more A is there. I'll try to recollect. 5 A's formulas. But have a great interest. That interest is there, that's all. Then it will bring out very, very nice learning. So please remind me tomorrow, I'll tell you. Our Rupa Goswami Pad, he says, one price we have to pay for Krishna consciousness. And what is that price? Tomorrow we'll begin our session with that. One fees. Krishna is asking you to pay some fees for becoming Krishna conscious.
Chanting.
No, not chanting exactly. We'll take tomorrow. Yeah, Divishpru will take tomorrow. Okay. Thank you all very much for joining and giving association.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Let us end
Hare
with
Krishna.
now. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.